What's up, guys? Welcome to Phil's Series Review. 2 years ago in the early season, I called Sitka and asked them if they had any plans for a fanny pack. They had just released their ESW line, and I thought a fanny pack was a great way to cut down on the weight. The representative told me that they had something in the works. Well, this is that something, the Sitka Tool Belt. Alright guys, well, the tool belt is much more than just a fanny pack. This is possibly Sitka's most customizable piece that they've ever produced. When I took it out of the box yesterday, I was planning on doing a review for or an unboxing for it right out of the box, but I spent an hour just looking at it, playing with it, putting it on, opening this, opening that, seeing what everything did, taking things off, putting things on. It was really almost like a Rubik's Cube. It was very busy, a lot going on. So I took a little bit of extra time before I did my unboxing, and I'm gonna break it down into two phases. This is basically gonna be the tale of two packs as we look at the Sitka Tool Belt. So I'm going to bring the camera in closer and give you guys a really up close look to all the details of the Sitka Tool Belt. All right. All right, guys, it's time to take a really deep look into the Sitka Tool Belt. So let's just start with the obvious. This is the current phase that it's in. This is a high-end fanny pack. Forget hunting. This thing would be great for most any outdoor activity. Very beefy waistband. I like that a lot. Sits on the hips nice and well. I'm assuming this is probably a frame out of something from the Big Game series, Big Game line. I've never used the Big Game line besides the Jetstream jacket, so I'm not real sure which product it's off of, but I'm sure that's what it's from. So the waistband, you're gonna have several different compartments. You have one small one here. I'm assuming that's for something like a wind indicator. You've got multiple zip pouches here for keys, cell phone. You have one zip pouch on this side. Nice beefy buckle. Gets you a pretty tight waist here. Very, very comfortable to wear around the hips. At the core, or the heart of this guy is going to be the storage. So it's still built off of the tool bucket chassis. It's just a very small version or smaller version. So you can hang it from the loop here. So this opens everything up. You're going to have one zip off compartment here. You can see that it's mesh, but it's not see-through mesh. They've actually camouflaged the internal mesh. Once you get down into the pack, you're going to have a nice big opening here. This is about the size of a shoebox, maybe a little smaller. You're gonna have an elastic opening here. This is a very loose fitting elastic opening. I'm assuming this is for something like gloves, face mask, beanies, things that just kind of plop right down into there. You're gonna have one zippered compartment right in here. So I'm assuming that's keys, cell phone, things of vast importance. You got two more smaller compartments here on the sides internally, so you're going to have 4 total bunchy compartments and one zippered compartment on the inside. Out on the front, all you're going to have is your T-post to connect through your ring here. This is, I don't know if you can hear it, but this is magnetic, so that's nice and cool that you can just bring it right down and it'll kind of sit there. It's going to come stock with these two drink holders. These almost look like they would be, what do you call them, chalk bags if you're a rock climber. I mean, like you would have chalk in here. That's kind of how it looks, but they're for drinks or other things that you want to put in there. We'll talk about that in a second on what I would probably use them for. Great thing about these is that if you only want one, I first saw 2 drink holders. I was thinking that's a little ridiculous, but completely customizable, as we talked about. You can break this down and leave it, put it in the side, put it in a compartment. And then once you take the little cup holders off the side, you still have the ability to store things on the outside here. You still have additional strapping to lash anything on that you want. So if you wanted to take both of these off, you could. If you want to leave them both on there, you could. And that streamlines it just a bit, but you still have some compartments there on the outside. Quite possibly one of the coolest features about this when it's in the fanny pack form is that you have this additional, you have your standard opening here, which you can latch just like you did on the toolbox and tool bucket. You can zip it just like you could on the toolbox and the tool bucket. The zipper actually feels a little bit better than in its predecessors. It's a little easier. But I think one of the coolest aspects is it's got an additional opening, so you can actually turn this fanny pack around and have it facing you just like I am now. And you can open up, voila, come in right in through the top. So if you are standing, you can turn the pack around, go down, get things out. I'm sure the saddle hunters are going to figure out a way to get this thing integrated into the saddle so that they can be sitting in the tree, facing the tree, and have this around front. I'm sure they're going to come up with something, one way to work this in, or not one way to get this worked in. It's magnetic on the top so it stays down, and you have a small bungee right here. If you do not want this opening at all, you can bungee it and you can zip it and it won't come up at all. Down here on the bottom, you have an additional bungee and little pack system with some straps. Supposedly this is for bow arms, but I'm sure you could put anything in there through here that you want. So we've talked about this from a hunting aspect. It's very easy to walk into the stand with. It can be great for early season. A lot of the same features of the toolbox that everybody loves. Except just smaller. If you want to just hang it here, you can hang it closed. If you want to open it and close it, you can. If you want to hang it from the loop, you can hang it from the loop. But let's talk about something that I am most excited about. Like I said, this guy's got a bunch of clips and things, so it's highly customizable. You're going to see some of that here in a minute. Sitka kind of gives you guidelines on what some of the compartments are made for and built for, and some of them are very innovative, and it's great to go with what they suggest, but you can also make it yours. This pack does come in at $229. We'll look at some more features that'll hopefully sell it to you a little bit more, but that is a little pricey. So if you're going to get it, you better wear it and use it. So in the fanny pack form, another thing that I'm uber excited about using this guy with is for hanging stands. I'm going to be so excited to put on my safety harness, strap this guy a little bit higher onto my waist, have it up here, and as I'm hanging stands, lock-ons, I will be able to have everything I need at my fingertips. I'll be able to have a saw in here. I'll be able to have pruners in here. I'll be able to have ratchet straps in here, pull cords to pull my bow up with, bow arms, steps, bow hangers, any little odds and ends, any flagging, anything that I need. I'm going to be able to put my harness on, open this guy up, have everything right here, and if I need it, it's right there. Just staying safe while we're in the tree, hanging stands. This is the phase that I'm the most excited about, that I know I'm going to use, is in this fanny pack phase. We are going to look at the phase 2, which is Sitka, like I said, push the envelope on this one a little bit. Some people are going to bite, some people aren't. So let's take a look at phase 2 of what else Sitka has in store for the tool belt. All right, guys, so on the phase 2, the Sitka Tool Belt, I know it looks like a completely different pack that I have in front of me, but in fact, it is the same pack. It's just the additional pack, sack, whatever you want to call it, that Sitka has provided with the tool belt. So this is a non-structured, non-framed sack. It's basically a mesh sack. It's going to have 2 buckles onto the top to allow you to tighten down your gear once you put your gear in through this draw cord. It's going to have shoulder straps with a breast buckle, and then it's going to connect on the top here to the tool belt that we were just looking at. It's very nice. One of the things I really like that they did is because there's a lot going on here. This one, I have 2 pieces of gear in this sack to give it some life. If I didn't, this thing would be kind of all over the place. It's very messy since it's no structure or frame to it at all. But it was nice that they color coded these 2 buckles so that's easy for you, so you don't put it on backwards. So this is designed for you to be able to put garments into this pack, put it onto your back, and then hike in. Very much a minimalist approach. I have a pair of the Equinox midi pants, extra large, and the Stratus vest, the Blaze Orange, both extra large in here right now. And I was actually surprised at how much room I have left over. I mean, you could easily put a Fanatic jacket or Fanatic bibs. I could easily put another jacket or a pair of Stratus bibs in here and really pack it down. And don't worry, I'm gonna do a full video where I just pack this thing to the gill. But this is phase 2 of the tool belt. This is the removable apparel sack that you can connect to the top here to allow you to have more room to, if you need to haul product or haul a long walk to the stand, you do want to take your jacket off, your bib off, and put them in here, get to the stand, cool off. I'm going to, before season starts, I'm going to do a video where I'm going to load this thing down. I am going to hike into the stand. I am going to climb into the stand, tether off, and I'm going to go through my whole process of letting myself cool and start to access things from this apparel sack while I'm in the stand. My concern is that as you start taking products out of here, this becomes very loosey-goosey because it's just cloth. And I don't know about you, but I don't like being in the stand and having just, you'll see what I'm talking about. It just kind of falls everywhere. I like to have things in control, especially when I'm up into a tree. So not saying it's gonna be good, not saying it's gonna be bad. It's an incredible idea. It's a great innovation. We're gonna see how it tethers. I said this in my couple other videos that on the new stuff that I didn't really read the descriptions. I just glanced at it, purchased it, and wanted to be surprised. When I saw on Sitka's page, when I went back and looked at it, when I saw this apparel sack, I actually thought it was one of the new tool boxes or tool buckets, whichever one they are called now. I thought that this went like connected to them, and it actually might. I haven't unboxed the new full packs yet. This might actually connect to them. I don't know. We're gonna see. But that's what I thought it was. So this is a pleasant surprise. Very interesting. A lot of guys are gonna like this. A lot of guys are probably gonna hate this. But the jury's still out on how well this is gonna work in and out of the stand. But we're gonna put it to the test. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed my unboxing of the new Sitka Tool Belt for 2020. We're gonna do, once I've used the pack some more, gone through some scenarios with it, I'm gonna do a full review on it, but for now, that's just an unboxing. My initial thoughts are, as a fanny pack, as a work pack for hanging stands, I think it's gonna be phenomenal. Cannot wait to use it. Can't wait to see how much easier it makes my life, especially in the early season. As for the apparel sack that's on it, I didn't mention, but getting the sack on and off of this guy, it's pretty simple. It's 4 clips. They unsnap pretty well, so I'll give Sitka that. So we'll see how it works when it comes time to climb up in the stand, start accessing these things, and see how well it works. My biggest problem is probably going to be keeping up with that apparel sack until it gets cold enough to actually have to layer, because I'm going to be using this primarily in the early season, September, October. But super excited about it. Stick around. We got a whole lot more coming up. Be sure to like and subscribe down below. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Hit me up if you want to talk Sitka or hunting or anything in general. Be sure to use promo code FSReview at DixieFalco.com and PacificFalco.com for 15% off. We'll see you guys next time.